Hello everyone and welcome back to a new episode of Saturdays with Dad. Happy Boxing Day everybody. And as it is coming up to the end of 2021, we will be showcasing our favourite albums that have come out this year. So our 5 favourite albums of 2021. This was actually fairly difficult because unfortunately I didn't really listen to an awful amount of new music this year. And I know a lot of people are going to get angry at me saying that, but you know, this year was still a bit of me getting into older stuff still. But I had some newer stuff here. So we've got 5 each. We're going to rotate back and forth with our picks. I think we should just start. Do you want to go first?
Yes. This is an album by an American artist, Riley Walker, and he also got a Japanese progressive rock band called, I hope this is right, Kikagaku Moyo. And they made an album called Deep Fried Grandeur. It's 2 sides, and it's like Tangerine Dream meets Can. It's magnificent. Actually, if there was one person to say, other than Senjutsu, what would be the album of the year, it would be this one. It's an absolutely amazing, amazing album. If you like that kind of music, sort of like Tangerine Dreamy, Can, German electronic type of music, you'll really love this. As I say, it's purely instrumental, like obviously Tubular Bells, and it covers both sides. So this is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful album. So I recommend it, Deep Fried Grandeur.
So my first pick, as I think I said already, this is in no particular order. I couldn't order them. I just couldn't. So my first pick is the new studio album from 70s Canterbury scene band Caravan. Now, I picked this up when I went to go see them in October, I think it was. It was a really great time, and during the interval was when I bought this because they played some of the stuff from this new album. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to buy it because I liked what I heard from it. And when I got back the next day, I listened to the whole thing and I really, really enjoyed it. So for fans of Caravan or Canterbury scene music or just progressive rock in general, this is a great one to check out. Of course, it's not as good as their 70s material, but I think this is a really, really good album. Nonetheless, it's called It's None of Your Business, and this is actually a signed copy, so definitely check this out. I think my favourite is probably the title track, or Ready or Not, because they played those 2 tracks when I saw them, and it was really, really great. Really great album. Definitely check it out.
Controversial time. Sorry, Taylor Swift. This is Red Taylor's version. This is how I think, obviously, Taylor Swift would have made this album without the A&R people getting involved. And it just exemplifies how good her songs were. And basically how good a lyricist and musician that she is. And if you listen to this, it's just wonderful.
I can say that I saw Taylor Swift when she was actually touring the original Red album. I don't listen to Taylor Swift anymore, but that was my first ever concert. My first ever concert was seeing Taylor Swift.
Yeah, stay. I love that. It's to me, it is a really good album. I think the Folklore and Evermore albums are slightly better because it's sort of like a new material. But this one's probably the best album she did, in those formative sort of years of hers in the limelight. But I definitely recommend this album. So this is Taylor Swift's Red Taylor's version.
So my next pick is completely different to that one. I think this was probably my number 1 album of the year, but as I said, I don't have an order for any of these, but if I had to pick one, it would probably be this one, and that is the new release from Maiden, Senjutsu. The last album that came out before this was Book of Souls, right? And I think that this carried on that through really, really well. So if you listen to the end of that album and then just start listening to this one, it just kind of flows in. It's really nice. Anyway, this is really, really good. I did a review of it. If you haven't checked it out, go and check it out. But if you haven't listened to it, definitely do. It's worth the listen. It's much more of a progressive metal feeling album than a stereotypical Iron Maiden record. Of course, it's still got the stereotypical Iron Maiden stuff within it, but the actual songwriting itself and obviously just the instrumentation and all that, it really does scream progressive rock to me. And a lot of people got annoyed at me when I said that, but that's just how I've perceived it myself. And Iron Maiden have always had progressive rock undertones in their music anyway. But this is a fantastic album, probably my album of the year.
Yeah, without any doubt. I think that's a great album, and I think with that and Deep Fried Grandeur are my two favourite albums. I mean, this Iron Maiden album is just like, it's great. It's got all the special effects and things like
my
that.
favourite song from this is The Parchment, which is the longest track on the album, and I mean that has like 3 different sections. You know, it's so progressive in that sense. So if you like prog, definitely listen to this. I know a lot of people who like prog like Iron Maiden as well. So.
Yeah, so this one here, while they were on a break, the Fish lads went around and did different things, and like Trey Anastasio did a load of, during lockdown, acoustic concerts, and then you had Mike Gordon going off and doing other stuff as well. And Paige McConnell decided to go and hide away in Iceland, and there he wrote or composed this album, which is called Maybe We're the Visitors, yeah? And it has a strong sort of winter feel to it, and I can pay no better comment than to say this is very much like the Majesty that is Mirage by Klaus Schulze. It's a totally electronic album. He wrote it and came back and remixed it and everything, and it's very, very, has that Tangerine ambient feel. So if you like that sort of ambience of Majesty, you really would like this. And unfortunately, our 2 cats didn't like one of the tracks. But this is, I think, is a really beautiful album. And it's called Maybe We're the Visitors. This is Paige McConnell.
So, maybe a controversial one, because a lot of people didn't like this album. Well, the next few are actually pretty controversial, but I'm putting in the latest release from Dream Theater, which is A View from the Top of the World, and you're probably thinking, why does the cover look a bit different? This is from the box set, but yeah. Anyway, I really liked this album, and I know a lot of people didn't because they thought it just kind of sounded like recycled stuff from previous albums and different sessions and all that, but it's about the quality of the music, and I think the quality of this album is amazing. And the 20-minute epic at the end, the actual title track, is absolutely mind-blowing, and I can safely say, to me personally, it's almost as good as the Octavarium Suite from the Octavarium album. But my favourite song of this is probably Answering the Call. It's such a great song, and I really love the song writing, not the lyric writing per se, but the actual music itself. Lots of great solos, lots of great drum work, and keyboards work on this is absolutely phenomenal. So this was really, really good for a new studio release from Dream Theater. Definitely a step up from Distance Over Time, which was the album that came out a few years ago. So this one is probably my favourite out of the more recent Dream Theater albums that have come out in the 2010s. Well, now 2020s, but in the more recent Dream Theater albums. That is really good.
Going back to my roots, and it came out towards the end of this year, and this is, oh man, Government Mule, Warren Haynes and the Lads. You've come up trumps again, Heavy Load. This is a sort of breakaway in a sense, because this is very, very bluesy, and a lot of it are cover versions. I think maybe all of it cover versions of different blues artists from years ago, and he puts his swing on it, and boy does it go. It really, really goes. I know that probably in this country, and otherwise Britain, they probably haven't heard of this guy, but Warren Haynes is one hell of a guitarist. And in this album, I think he shows off his blues expertise, and I heavily recommend it. Sorry about the pun. And if you try, I'm sure you go around, you probably find a copy somewhere. It's not going to be that expensive, but it is really worth it. I mean, this is real blues at its best. So this is Heavy Load by Government Mule.
So my next choice is probably going to be a bit more of a controversial one again. And I've heard two different opinions of this. Really good and really bad. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the new album from Yes, which is The Quest. I really enjoyed this album because the music was great, obviously, and the production was great. The lyrics were alright, obviously, but the singing was a little bit hit or miss at points because it was like, do you really need auto-tune on this? Like, it's not necessary. So I'm a little bit worried because we're seeing them live next year. So if they are going to be playing material from this. But nonetheless, I still thought it was an enjoyable album. Unlike a lot of people who've decided that they don't like it simply for the fact that it's not...
Without listening to it.
Without listening to it and the fact that it's not got the members on it that you want it to have on it. It doesn't matter about that. It matters about the actual music itself. So if you are that kind of person, I don't rate that. I don't respect that, really. That opinion, anyway. Overall, I thought it was an enjoyable album, so I don't really care what anyone else says, because I thought it was enjoyable. And finally, I have one more, because we were sharing one on the Iron Maiden, and that is the new release from Abba. For a band that hadn't made any music for over 40 odd years, this is a really, really great comeback album. There are some really, really, really nicely, like, mellow written songs, and then there's obviously the upbeat, more, like, get on your feet and dance ABBA music. There's actually one song on this album which was actually, I think, put away in the vaults and was written within the 70s, but was released on this album, which is Just a Notion, which was one of the singles. The vocals on this are absolutely amazing. Musicianship, always great. The actual compositions, the lyrics, everything on this album is so, so good. So if you're a fan of ABBA, definitely check this out.
Just a Notion is my favourite song.
That was Johan's one as well.
Yeah, it's really good.
And, where can you go wrong? It's ABBA. So that concludes our 2021 wrap-up. Let us know what your favourite albums of the year were and why, if you want to let us know why. There was one runner-up in this for me, and that was the Liquid Tension Experiment 3 album. I just didn't enjoy it as much to put it within the list.
Same with me with the big Train album. You know,
I can't forgive the fact that they had a song about COVID on there.
Yeah, I know.
The first track.
We listened to it and we just, oh dear.
Like, it's like when Brian May wrote a song about the pandemic. It was just really bad. Like, yeah. Anyway, let's not get into that.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching and have a very nice, pleasant New Year's.
And the same to you. Have a great 2022.
I was saying just now, see you in the new year. There will probably be like some form of video coming out in the next week before New Year's, probably like an unboxing or something. So stay tuned for that. And
absolutely.
If I don't do any of those videos, see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.